Enjoy live shows every day and take home some brand new KFAN gear. Plus, your shot at a free original chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A with every purchase while supplies last. Don't miss out. Get all the details at KFAN.com/fair. The Fan at the Fair is presented by Mesh, Besher, and Spence.
All right, Power Trip back. 7:06. Ben Leber is here. Good morning, Ben.
Good morning.
Stay fair day for Ben Leber. Uh-oh, it's starting. Justin Contemious is here.
Benny.
Hi, Justin.
Aren't you excited?
Morning. Oh, so excited.
So, Ben, for 3 to 4:30, right? You're not that far from where the KFAN booth is. The Twin Cities Live booth is very close.
Yeah, we just walk under that little bridge.
Yeah, you're one bridge away.
Yeah, we're one bridge away.
What do you got at the fair today?
Oh, yeah.
Anything you can say or not?
It's a good question. I haven't even looked at the show today. We got a whole. I mean, the really cool thing that we had this company make us this mini golf hole. So it's for a contest, and we've already drawn all the winners and stuff like that. So we have a winner every day. They get 2 chances to basically sink the putt. Now I'm talking. It's not just like, oh, we put a few things here as little obstacles. This thing is awesome. Like, it is really honestly worth. It's like right on the, if you guys know our building, we have a big mural on the side.
Sure.
And it's, we have this mini golf hole. It's worth just taking a look at. I mean, it's they have, the first obstacle is the real van from back in the day that KSTP used. And they researched the exact van. So it's like exact replica of the van. So you have to hit underneath the van. They have the choppers on there, the
Awesome.
helicopters on there. It's cool.
Is that a makeable putt?
It is.
Oh, it is makeable. See, that's one of my lottery dreams. If I ever won the lottery, I would definitely want my own 18-hole mini golf course at my house.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to design a 7 Wonders of the World mini golf course with the pyramids and Mount Rushmore. And Tommy, you're looking at me like you think this is a good idea?
I know someone that could help you. I'm not kidding.
You're serious?
I swear to God.
I bet we know the same guy. Is his name Dean Profit? He's a carpenter.
No, if he owns a company, I know the company.
No, he mostly works overnights.
It's like, oh, God, Court.
I got him! Yes! It made my day.
How you kept a straight face.
Oh, that's so good.
You don't know that movie?
No, I don't even know what you're talking
It's
about.
Overboard. It's the
No,
movie
I've never
Overboard.
seen Overboard, but I could just
you
tell
would
how convincing you would.
freaking love Overboard.
Would I?
Oh, this is, it's Kurt Russell shirtless.
Yeah. Oh, Seth, I'm busy tonight. Call out the girls.
Seth, why don't you jump overboard? You were so excited to build a mini golf course.
I was really gonna help, and I'm just like, God.
No, dude, you would love that movie. Yeah, honestly, everybody here has seen it, correct? It's a classic.
It's
It's fantastic.
I've seen it once.
It's so good.
Hey, have you watched Hard Knocks? Totally random.
No, not yet.
Schneider, the owner, he's been dropping your line.
Which one?
Would you say I have a plethora? He says it to
He
everybody.
likes the Three Amigos?
really?
I didn't know that.
Plethora?
He says it to everybody.
Does he say it like El
Exactly,
Guapo?
and then
So
he
it is
quizzes
an
people.
actual reference.
Yeah, he quizzes people. You know where that's from?
He quizzes people about Three Amigos? I love it.
Yeah, this year's Hard Knocks is fantastic.
Yeah, they're great.
All the clips I've seen.
You fall in love with Mike McDonald.
Yes, I heard that.
You want to play for him. This
And
team
their
is.
practice facility is A+.
Oh my God, it's so nice. Yeah, I'm a big Seahawks fan after this. They are so cool.
Good dude scene.
Electric
Yeah.
dudes.
I'm telling you, that's one thing about this show. Every time they do a team, I become a fan of that team a little bit.
Right.
The first time it happened for me was with the Lions, and I fell in love with that squad, and I'm a Viking fan. They do such a good job on this show. They just do.
They really do.
All right, should we talk some college football?
Yes.
Can I ask you guys a question real quick, though, before we do that? Do you mind? Because I'm standing here at Circa, and I can make a sports bet. Hey, Ben.
Yeah.
For AP Defensive Rookie of the Year, they've got Caleb Banks way down the list at plus 7,500. Any chance in your mind that he's a candidate for the AP Defensive Rookie of the Year? Do you think that's an outlandish thing?
Yeah, I wouldn't put my money on it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right. They have David Bailey of the Jets and Reuben Bain Jr. as your top.
Yeah. Bane's so good.
Bain
actually
is
here.
looking so good.
That D-line is scary.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, but at 75 to 1, Chris, just put $10 on it. If it's a fun sweat, who cares?
Yeah.
Listen, I ain't got time for $10.
Life's better
you
with
don't
money
got
in the
that.
line.
Trust me,
That doesn't
you
get me
don't
no
got
happy.
time for $10.
You wouldn't be winning $10. You're winning 10 times 75.
Oh.
Oh.
No, that's more like it.
Well, sure.
Okay, college
Okay.
football.
Yeah, what do we got? This is week 0?
Oh, yeah,
Week
we're-
0.
we're-
So what
this-
happens in week
Hawk's
0?
favorite week.
Yeah, this is always the favorite. Yeah, I think the first thing is it's not no one big's playing this week, right? There's a couple teams that are, I guess USC I think is a top 25 team, but
Yeah.
you just kind of just talk about the year first. You know, I think one of the things we were saying off the air is this is a year in college football which, with the transfer portal, what everyone tried to do is retain their top talent. So we were just talking about Drake Lindsay off the air. Every team returned their key quarterback for the most part. So that's why when you go through it and you're like Julian Sand, Gunnar Stockton at Georgia, C.J. Carr at Notre Dame, Dante Moore at Oregon, Arch Manning at Texas. Like, that's the crazy thing is there's so much quarterback talent, which I think is going to be interesting to see how it plays out throughout the year. That's why when you start looking at those Heisman Trophy odds out there in Vegas, guys, I would actually hammer Jeremiah Smith because I think the quarterback. There's two ways I think about the.
And who is he, by the way, real quick?
He's a wide receiver for Ohio State.
Okay, thank you.
I think the quarterbacks are going to kind of have obviously great years, but probably split the votes. There's two people I would bet on if I was out there today. I think Jeremiah Smith he's the best player in college football.
He's 15 to 1.
Yeah, I mean and then I think C.J. Carr. So when you start looking at who's going to be good this year, you have to break down schedules, and Notre Dame plays nobody.
No, easiest schedule of all time.
Quarterback at Notre Dame.
Yeah, C.J. Carr, quarterback Notre Dame. I'd hammer that Heisman bet today.
They play no one.
They play USC like week 11 or 10, but before that and after that, nobody. And don't forget last year they're 10-2. They don't get into the college football playoff. I think didn't they turn down the bowl bid,
They said
right?
no. Yeah, they said no.
So they're going to leave nothing left undone to have an absolute great year, and they don't play anyone. But then you look at the rest of the country, right? The SEC's loaded top to bottom. So is the Big Ten, quite candidly. Georgia, from a team standpoint, back-to-back SEC champs, but lose in the first round of the playoffs. They bring back Gunnar Stockton. They bring back a loaded defense. I think Georgia's probably in the top 4 talk.
Sure.
Texas, I think. If you go back a year ago, Arch Manning just struggled, right? He's 3-2 out of the gates. He had all the buildup. Sure. Well, he got a lot better late in that year.
I was going to say, Jess.
His last half of the season, he's the number one, I think the leading quarterback in the SEC. They went out in the portal and they just spent a boatload of money. They have I think the second best wide receiver in the country after Jeremiah Smith and a guy named Cam Coleman, who's from Auburn, that they went and grabbed. So they have loads of talent, and again, they have one of the best players in college football. Their schedule's tough. They host Ohio State week 2. But I think Texas, comes through the SEC. Texas A&M brings back their quarterback. I've always loved Mike Elko, what he does on defense. So I think the SEC is going to beat up on each other. But the Big Ten's won the last 3 national championships.
Yep.
And you guys are out there, you're looking at all these odds. I think number 1, Ohio State is really good. They have probably the toughest schedule of the kind of top-tier teams in the Big Ten. They're at Texas. They're at Indiana. They host Oregon. God. I think Oregon, Hawk, I know you've talked about them being a great team, right? They bring back a ton of talent. Dante Moore, the soup guy, he decides to come back and play again this last year. He's probably a top 3 pick in the NFL draft if he goes last year. He'll be a top 3 pick this year. Of course, they have our guy Coy. Their schedule's pretty favorable except for Ohio State. I know that's Oregon. So Ohio State's going to be strong. Oregon's going to be strong. But I'm telling you what, look at the roster top to bottom. Indiana's back.
Right.
They're not going anywhere, right? So they're going to stay at the top. I think when the Big Ten is said and done, I bet Indiana wins back-to-back Big Ten championships.
I had never heard the kid's name before last year, and he ends up going number 1 overall in the draft, and they went, okay, so who's taking his spot? Who's the quarterback for Indiana this year?
Josh Hoover, a kid at TCU that probably had to do too much, but in the portal when it came out, he was the top quarterback to grab, as well as the kid from Arizona State, Sam Levitt, that's now at LSU, that Lane Kiffin grabbed. But he's not going to have to do as much at Indiana as he did at TCU. So, and I just think not just Kurt Cignetti, but the top 2 coordinators in all of football, I think they're both paid over $4 million a year. So what they have built at Indiana, it's so crazy because Hawk, you're closer to this than anyone. just the worst program entering last season in college football history, and how fast it's turned in this NIL and transfer portal era.
Yeah.
And I'm just telling you guys, it's the best. It's the best defensive line in the country. Indiana,
Really?
they brought
Makes
everybody
no
back.
sense. Makes no sense.
It makes no sense. Their offensive line, they
Yeah.
had to fill in a couple guys, top to bottom. Scary. So, yeah, there's some questions about Josh Hoover.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you what, in that offense, with the run game that he didn't have at TCU, with the ability to pick up enough first downs with his arms, they are back. And again, their schedule fairly favorable. Their biggest game, which again, I always look at the schedule as how many top 10 opponents are you playing, or preseason ranked top 10 opponents. They go to Ohio State. Outside of that, they're going to get better with a new nucleus, a little bit of a new nucleus. But that team is going to find their way into the Big Ten championship.
Books will be written about how this was done, and I don't know enough about it, but I want to know how Curt Cignetti and his people manipulated the NIL to make it happen as quickly as it did. I can't wait to read about how it all came together, because obviously he's a great coach. He had the talent, but they must have been doing something before anybody else figured it out with the NIL to get that team built the way they did that quickly.
Well, I was gonna make the comment, and I don't know this for sure. I'm just assuming because I've heard that the stadium is a dump.
Oh, yeah.
Not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Sorry, Tommy.
Okay.
Sorry.
What did you build it?
No, I have great memories there. I kind of like it there. I really like it.
I guess
And
the
you
point-
love a dump.
I guess what I've heard is it's not the best game day experience. The stadium's not amazing. It's not like they don't have this tradition that was like long lost and they're just bringing it back.
It's a high school football stadium for a college team. That's what it always was.
Yeah. So to strengthen your point there, Hawk, before the NIL, before they had Mark Cuban and all this other stuff, and they brought Cignetti in, I've never heard anybody talk about their facilities.
Never.
Their facilities have never gone like viral. I've never heard about the game day experience at Indiana. I've never heard about the traditions they have at Indiana football. Yeah, they have some great player here and there, all that stuff, right? So it is fascinating how in this day and age where there's this arms race to have,
Tommy.
cold plunges and to have, these NFL style
Cryo chambers,
amenities. Yeah.
Old school.
And you think all of that matters, right?
Yeah.
The constant underwhelming that Texas is they have the best. They've always had the best of everything.
Yeah.
Everybody says it's a country club when you're there in that facility. If you're a football player for University of Texas, it is a country club.
Wow.
Because you have everything.
Yeah.
And they have money, but they always underperformed. Well, I mean, I get that they won a national championship, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they've had the best. They should be
letdown usually.
They should be winning the conference every single year. They should be like, and then you get a team like Indiana that doesn't have any of that stuff.
Blue collar.
They've got a fantastic. It's one of the most beautiful campuses from a student perspective in the country, and they've got a great school academically. But it's not a football school.
It's a basketball school, always has been.
There's nothing about it that's
Basketball
a football
state.
school.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden, Cignetti comes in for what? James Madison?
Yeah.
Sure. With the new attitude, older coach, can you really think that he's going to connect with the younger players?
Yeah.
And then you throw a little bit of money at him, and they manipulate their salary cap in a way that they go out and find their type of guys, and all of a sudden, like, that's
unbelievable.
That's what it is. That's the magic. Is that you got to have a really good eye for talent and a really good eye for evaluation, and then obviously the money to bring him in.
Well, and it's portal talent. I think if you went to Curt Cignetti when he was at James Madison and said, "If this is a developmental program and we're gonna build this through the high school," it would never happen. What Curt Cignetti did is he had an ability to evaluate portal talent, kids at the MAC, kids at Madison, kids at Miami of Ohio, kids at North Dakota State type of schools. And then he said, let me find these kids that had productivity at a maybe lesser level of football, but he could see that I can get them here and I can develop them quickly, which you have to do with portal kids, so they can impact the team on the field. No one has done it better, and he flipped the entire roster through the portal. And that's what
unbelievable.
He embraced it. He went out and grabbed not just like dozens of new players, flipped the roster, and these kids from lowly James Madison became the captains and leaders of the team.
Yeah.
And it
Key
happened
pieces from James Madison was huge to
Bunch
keep
of
the
kids.
culture going.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the thing is, guys, the thing that I want to know, and the reason I brought up writing the book or whatever, is because I want to know who his Jonah Hill was, if you know what I'm talking about when it comes to that movie with Brad Pitt and the Oakland A's. Because there's no way a head coach of college football has the time to do what you just said, Fargo Fleck.
Yeah.
There has to be a Jonah Hill character
Yeah.
who said, here's what we're going to do. I'd love to see that story because everybody should be copying it. Well, I mean, just like we talked about with Dude going to Oregon, it's not just the $2 million. He gets to go play for Oregon as well.
Yeah.
Right.
It had to be enough money to get you to go to Indiana because nobody wanted to play for Indiana.
Yeah. The first year, not a lot of money, and so he took flyers on kids to convince them, come play in the Big Ten.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Then they had the success hawk. They didn't get. They didn't win. They lost to Notre Dame in that first round game in South Bend.
Yeah.
But then but that success brought the money. Right.
Got it.
And then John Cougar Mellencamp and
Mark
Cuban. Right. They
Yeah.
start opening up the pocketbooks because they didn't want to make it happen. And then they had the big year. So now they have the coach that can eye talent, which that probably you're right, Hawk, has guys behind the scenes that can really size up talent.
For sure.
Now they have the funds. I think the thing stays like this for a long time.
Hard to not to think, wait, he's that good of a coach. Like, he's that good.
Yeah.
Couple of little nuggets. This has been like the most beautiful segment of all time. A couple of things we didn't really talk about. Texas Tech is another team to watch. We have to watch
Lot of
out for
money.
them. They don't have, they're not in the, big, at Big Ten or SEC. Like, they are going to be
It's called the Big
outskirts.
12.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
Big
it's
12
the
guy
old-
right
it's
next
called
to you.
the
Be
Big
careful.
12.
The old little
Okay.
sister conference that we don't like to talk about. And then another Malachi Toney from Miami. We have to keep our
so
eyes
good.
on him.
And they picked up a quarterback from Duke who's lights out.
That's lights out. I think Arch Manning's going to win Heisman, and then,
Oh, yeah, there he is.
but like the college football being back, the coolest things is like the blue bloods, like the Miamis, and we talked about this. I just want to see like teams like Nebraska, and I know like we have like a rivalry against them.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be cool to see them get back. It'd be great for Big Ten if like Rule really gets them rolling.
Yeah, good for the Big Ten.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, like Wisconsin, if they could figure it out a little bit more with Fickle, it would only be good.
They're better. They have a much better quarterback.
I agree. And they had the hardest schedule in history of schedules last year, like the hardest.
Didn't they play Bama?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. And thank you for bringing up Bama.
They get to open up again with Notre Dame next weekend.
Watch out for Bama. There's been so much talk about DeBoer and trying to get him back, like Saban. There's so much pressure on him. I think they're going to come out lights out and just watch out for everything they have to do.
When we come back from I know we got a break, Corey. I want to ask Ben if he's seen the Vince Young documentary, and I want to talk about that momentarily when we come back. But lastly, I don't want to ask Fargo. I love you, Fargo. I don't want to ask Tommy. I love you, Tommy. I want to ask Ben. Should I bet the over 5.5 on the Golden Gophers?
All right.
No, I want to ask that. I'm asking that before we go to break. Sorry, you can. I'm asking that before we
that's
go
not
to
the
break.
tease?
Yeah.
So
That's
you-
not the
you did
tease. The
tease
Vince
and then
Young
a
is
real
the tease.
question.
Yeah,
Nice tease.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, I got teased all over the place.
You got to find 6.
I would
Look at
hammer.
Tommy.
I would hammer the over.
Hell
Okay.
yeah!
Hammer
Now
the
we're
over.
talking.
Hell yeah!
Okay.
We go now!
Yes.
12-0, baby!
Hammer that over.
Is $1,000 too much, or is
Ben, I
it?
can kiss you on the mouth!
Not enough.
enough. Okay.
I'll give you 1,000 too. I'll Venmo it to you right now.
Okay, done.
Oh, I love this. This is great.
You got to go, T.O., or what?
This was the best segment we've ever had in the entire
You
life.
can hang, right? You can hang.
No, I really have to go.
Come on.
No, I have to. I have to.
Look
I
at
have to
the
go.
dude
Dude scene around
I
here.
know. I have to go to work. I have to go to work. I have to
Hang
go
on,
to
one
work.
more segment.
No, I have to go to work. I swear,
Elite
I swear.
dude
Big boy
scene.
job.
You're
I have
leaving
to
a
go.
dude
I
scene.
know. I know. I
Let's
love
come
you
back.
guys.
Let's come back and do week 0 bets.
Have
Yeah,
you guys have fun in
Vegas.
Vegas.
Love you.
Love you, Tommy.
So long. Love
We're
you.
warming it up for you, buddy.
Love you.
All right. Well, sports with sauce after this and more football talk. Those guys are live in Circa in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
The Fan.
KFAN welcomes some great shows to Mystic Lake Amphitheater, including Slayer on September 4th. Get the complete details on all of our upcoming shows on the concert page at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
All right, welcome back. Power Trip Morning Show. I'm Corey Cove. There's Zach. There's Max. Ben Leber is here. Justin Gonzemius is here. Chris and Sauce are in Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada.
We sure are.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, and don't forget, by the way, we're out here because there's $30 million in guaranteed prizes up for grab when it comes to fantasy football here at Circa in Las Vegas. And listen, you can enter in Nevada, but play from anywhere. The Circa Million, the Circa Survivor, the Circa Grandissimo. We're celebrating, and a bunch of radio people are arriving today. Saucy and I are the first ones in. We're broadcasting live in the sportsbook. Everybody else will be broadcasting together in Radio Row, but we get our own special spot down here. Just visit circasports.com for all the details. But if you love fantasy football as much as I do, and you want to try Survivor, which is what I did, I'm going to do it again this year. It's so much fun. So try it. Thank you, circasports.com, for having Saucy and I out here at the best place anywhere. We appreciate it. And also, by the way, speaking of thanking people, the college football segment we just did took the place of the news. St. Paul Saints. Check out saintsbaseball.com. Thank you. CHS Field. They're playing ball there today as they host Toledo this week. saintsbaseball.com.
All right, let's do sports. We'll get the Sauce Sports up and running. Then we can dive back into all the things we were talking about last segment and the teases that are going to get paid off in a huge way. That's what we do. We pay off radio teases.
It's time for Fan 5 on the Power Trip.
Watch this.
Your Minnesota Twins lost 7-4 to the Athletics last night. They lost 2 of 3 to the worst team in the AL. They are off today, and then your Minnesota Twins will battle the White Sox starting tomorrow at 7:10. And they're going to look to – I think they've lost 4 or 8 of their last 12. It's not good for your Twins. Dean Kramer, Hawks guy, goes tomorrow for your Twins against the 70-63 White Sox.
The next 15 games are against the division.
Lordy.
So you got a lot of the next 12 are against the White Sox and the Tigers, back and forth, and then you have 3 against Cleveland after that. So 15 straight against the division.
Got to make moves.
Yeah, this is the this is the 2-week window to get back in this. They are 6.5 back in the division, 4 back in the wild card. And again, Sauce just mentioned they lost 7-4. They led 3-zip after 3 solo home runs. Lee, Larnach, and Culpepper nailed home runs, 3-zip, and they still lost. Yes, the same. Yes.
Wow.
So yeah, off today. Back at it tomorrow against the White Sox.
Yeah. Jonathan Kuminga agreed to a 2-year, $13 million deal. It does have a player option, so it's basically a 1-year deal.
Who's that for?
Your Minnesota Timberwolves.
Okay, thank you.
He was the, let's see here, 7th overall pick in 2021. He averages about 12 points a game. He's a younger guy. He will probably be their starting power forward, depending on the lineup they put out there.
Definitely.
But your Wolves will have to make a move to stay under that second apron. And Johnny Athletic yesterday with Cinny said it will probably include Josh Green, who, as you know, Hawk, they got in the LaMelo Ball trade.
Yeah, I thought when we got him, he was just a temporary guy, so this doesn't surprise me at all.
You did say that a lot yesterday.
I said it a lot. I did, yeah.
According to The Athletic, and we talked about it, but the NFL Pro Bowl is being eliminated. They will no longer do a Pro Bowl game.
Ben.
Everybody rejoice. I heard the Angels singing this morning when you guys talked about it.
Finally.
Yeah, it's been, I don't know, 15 years overdue?
At least.
Yeah, that stupid game has not been relevant in a long time. And really, honestly, the award has been so minimized. I mean, it's become sort of a joke with all the alternates, and you're a 4th alternate because guys are injured or they can't. They're in the playoffs and they can't play the game, and they're like, "Oh, well, you're now a Pro Bowler." And like, no, I'm not. You know, like I'm really not.
I was only slightly less productive than Shedeur Sanders, and he was a Pro Bowler.
I know. Yeah. I know. And
but growing up, it was a great game. I mean, Hawk, we loved it. I mean,
the game in Hawaii, it was A+. Yeah.
But
this is great. These you get like a big time running back playing with a big time offensive line, or a quarterback to receiver. Like, it was just fun to see these guys.
Dan
get
Marino
mixed up.
Throwing it to Lance Stallworth. I mean, just people that didn't belong.
Yeah. This is an old man's take, but this is the right take. It's like, well, back in the day, we didn't have 24-hour access to all these guys, right? Because social media wasn't a thing. And it's like we didn't get a chance to see all of them in the same place at the same time. Now it's just we're just inundated with 24 hours of sports, 24 hours a day, 365. It's just like we don't need to see this. And they used to try.
Yeah.
They used to play. They used to tackle.
Yeah.
So now it's like, this isn't even remotely football. What are we doing here? Nobody's trying. Nobody is hitting.
They're meat sauce.
They're meat sauce.
And the money you got for winning the Pro Bowl as the winning team used to matter.
Yeah.
But it's piddly compared to what they're actually making in real life. You don't want to ruin your knees in the Pro Bowl game just for $100,000.
Correct. Yep.
Well said.
All those things are great points, and we've been saying it for years. And I'm so glad that Goodell and the NFL finally agree that nobody wants to watch this trash product. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I honestly think it's fine if they don't do any sort of games. Like, they don't, at this point, they don't even need to get together. Just treat it like the All-Pro.
Yeah.
Name them. Let them have
conference.
Let them have the recognition. They get a cool little plaque, and they get to put that on their bio for the rest of their lives. And that's it. We don't need the guys to get together.
I know you heard this coming in, though, but yeah, so it sounds like they are going to get invited to that weekend, even though there's no, quote, games. My guess is it's just a sponsorship opportunity, right? It's like, let's get the 88 players out that want to come out, if you want to come out, and we can slap you on the back and introduce you to some high-priced people. This is like Kawhi Leonard meeting people under the, you know what I'm saying? It's like, let's have some lunches and some dinners and slap some backs and see what happens.
Yeah.
Why not?
I'll be curious to see who actually attends.
Yeah.
Right?
I think the only way they could really, the nice thing that they could do is, I think every player gets, let's just say, a round trip Delta 1 vacation somewhere with you and your plus one. You could start adding in little amenities like that.
Do they have to bring their wife?
They don't have to bring their wife. That's why I said plus one.
Can they bring, as Tommy says, Marshmallow Maddie?
They could bring Marshmallow Maddie.
Could Tommy bring Eddie?
Could they pick their girl up at the trailer court?
It sounds like Marshmallow Maddie might need 2 seats, though.
Yeah, can you just get Jed York in the plane instead?
Yeah.
All right, so something like that makes a lot of sense.
Or special recognition at the Super Bowl, like they all get extra tickets for the Super Bowl, and they all fly them in. Then they could do these special events or whatever. But something where they don't have to put the stupid pads on again or play dumb reindeer games.
You don't want to see them Jello wrestle?
Well,
why did you ask that this Saturday?
Yeah, I was going to say the guy that's going to pay per view for that just left.
Yeah,
he's going to text us.
$1 billion idea.
I know Fargo wants to do some betting before he gets out of there, so let's let him do that before he gets out of here. But real quick, I want to ask you a question, Ben. I bet you haven't seen the Vince Young documentary on Netflix yet. I would encourage you to watch it because there's one thing in particular. It's fascinating to watch the breakdown of USC versus Texas in that game, and how it was one of the greatest college football games of all time. So that was fun to watch. But the interesting thing, the only interesting reason to stick around and watch the entire documentary is how the relationship between Jeff Fisher and Vince Young deteriorated in Tennessee. Okay? And I would love to know your thoughts on if you agreed with Fisher or with Vince Young, because it was just interesting. At one point, Jeff just starts calling Vince Young out in the press, just saying this guy doesn't want to play football. He wants to do other things. He's having too much fun partying. He went in a direction I'm not sure every coach would have gone. I would love to know your thoughts. So if you get a chance to watch it, please do.
All right. Yeah. I'll check it out.
Not even Fargo Flash.
When Vince Young scored that game-winning touchdown.
Yeah. We were just talking about that.
The over-under was 2.5 Vince Young touchdowns, which I took the over. That was touchdown for number 3.
Wow. And the confetti coming down. And it was unbelievable. Yeah.
So this is year 10 of the bets between myself and Ben.
Wow. Do we know the all-time score?
We do know the all-time score.
Unfortunately.
Who wants to take a shot at it?
Well, it sounds like, since Ben just said unfortunately, that it has gone in the way of the Fargo Flash. But how significantly?
74, 72, and 3.
Whoa.
74, 72, and 3.
Yeah.
Wow. That is insane. So essentially dead even.
The longest streak, I won 11 in a row in 2017.
My goodness.
This started in 2016. Last year, as I remember, because it's a recency bias, Ben was 11 of 12 at one point
last year. Yeah.
Wow.
So Ben,
this is the argument, though, for gambling, right?
Yes.
You guys have been doing it for 10 years. Yeah. You're essentially even, but you got to ride the waves and have some fun, and all those games have felt either good or bad. Then you move on. You're even. This is just for
somebody
fun.
standing up for gambling.
Well said, Corey. Thank you.
You did it.
We're in the house of the Lord.
That is my purpose, right? That is why I'm here. I've been put on the earth to say gambling is the best, and you guys are showing showing that firsthand. I appreciate that.
So week 0, you're out there, guys. You have, I think, 7 or 8 games on tap for Saturday.
That's right.
Make your bets today or tomorrow. There's 3 games that caught my eye. The first 2 we're going to pass on. But the first game is Bill Belichick heads over to Ireland to take on TCU.
I forget he's still there.
He's still there. So
This'll be it.
That point spread has moved all week. It's actually, I believe, up to 9.5 for TCU.
My goodness.
But last year, if you remember in the opener at Chapel Hill, they got absolutely destroyed, the Tar Heels. They lost 48-14. So while that thing continues to move up because there's this anti-Belichick kind of bias, I would still hammer TCU. I think TCU, he is not what it takes to really win in college football. He obviously has proven that in his early times here at North Carolina, and that continues in 2026. So I'd hammer TCU minus 9.5. Hawaii is at Stanford. Stanford is -4. Stanford football has fallen apart. In the last 3 seasons, again, 12-game seasons, each season, only one time is Stanford a favorite.
Woo! Boy.
Only one time in each of the last 3 years. And if you look at what they brought back and what they picked up in the portal, Stanford looks to be continuing a really struggling team in Palo Alto. Hawaii brings back a quarterback that people love. This is kind of has a series that people have always enjoyed. Last year at Hawaii, they beat Stanford 23-20. I hate to pick against the smart kids. I'm taking Hawaii +4 as they come to the mainland.
Jesus.
But what we're going to pick is Jacksonville State.
Go on.
Which made the move to FBS in 2023.
Yep.
And since that time, they have won 9 games in each of their first 3 seasons, including last year when they got to the Conference USA title game, and which they lost, but they got to the conference title game. They went on to beat Troy in a bowl game. They are at Fargo in North Dakota State.
Oh my!
As North Dakota State is making their move to Division 1A, or what is now called FBS. If you remember the last time NDSU played football, they lost to an unseeded Illinois State team in the Fargo Dome in the first round of the playoffs. And so they were out. They had no one there, and they took a step back and said, people are kind of bored with this FCS thing.
Yeah.
They've paid a lot of money, millions of dollars to make the move up. They're a part of the Mountain West Conference. This is their first chance to try football at the highest levels. It'll be a packed Fargo Dome. It's actually the most expensive ticket in week 0 is in Fargo.
In the country?
In the country is $54 is the cheapest ticket to get inside the Fargo Dome this weekend. That's the highest ticket in college football. I am taking Jacksonville State +7, and Ben has the North Dakota State Bison -7. That is our first.
Fargo is betting against Fargo.
I think they'll win. I like Jacksonville State +7. I've looked at their scores and from 2025, and
so you want North Dakota to win,
win,
but Jacksonville to cover.
Exactly.
Got it.
Wow.
See,
there you go.
Way to play both sides.
See how that works for him?
Ben, your thoughts?
Well, it's funny because he only sent me 2 games. Basically every week we kind of alternate who's going to pick the games. Of all the games, he just picks 2. And then I'm like, okay, well, this is... I know that I can go back and forth because sometimes we go back and forth with okay, well, I'm not taking the other side of that bet. Let's find another game. This week, I'm like, I know that he doesn't like NDSU. I know he's got a bias a little bit with NDSU, could being a Gopher fan. I was like, this will just be a fun bet. I know nothing about Jacksonville State. Everything that he just said, cool. First time I'm hearing it. Great.
Yeah.
So I didn't do any research. I'm just going to be the opposite side of that because I want the Bison not only to win, I want them to cover and win week 0. So
love it.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited that we're getting back to this. I had a heck of a run last year. It was a lot of fun, and I needed that so badly. So badly. As I was losing a lot of confidence in how I was looking at some stuff. So, it'd be really exciting. A great way to kick off the 2026 season.
Week 0 is a little bit boring, but gosh, next week it starts off with a full slate of games. We have Tom and I will sit down and do our preseason predictions. I actually am starting.
We got a preview earlier.
We heard it.
I have a little bit of a potential loss in the regular season.
What?
I haven't made my declaration yet, but we'll talk about that next week. But then next week we have Notre Dame at Wisconsin at Lambeau.
Yep.
The week after that, I think Tommy just said we have LSU and Lane Kiffin back at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
We have Texas hosting Ohio State. I know Meat Sauce talked about the November 7th.
Yeah.
The slate on November 7th is absolutely crazy.
Can't wait.
Oregon goes to Ohio State, and it's just,
man.
We're back.
It's great to have you back, buddy. We got to go to
Flash.
break.
Thanks, man.
Great to have you, dude.
Bye.
Vikings news in a second. Chris and Sauce live in Las Vegas thanks to Circa. The Power Trip Morning Show returns after this on The Fan.
The Fan.
From the 1-800-ASK-GARY Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Audible.
Front row seat to the Power Trip Morning Show, program password, exclusive KFA interviews, and more. Catch the moments, reactions, and behind-the-scenes content that you just can't get on the radio alone. Watch at KFAN.com/watch. Search KFAN on YouTube, powered by Quantum Fiber Internet. It allows you to see old Hawk and Sauce out in Circa right now. How nice is that?
Hi.
Hi. Welcome. We're live in Vegas. That's right. Saucy and me. We're here. Ben's not here. Corey's not here. Maxo, no. Zacho, no. But we're here, and we're checking this place out and scouting it. We're doing the hard work to make sure that we're ready for November, guys. And so far, I'm going to say, thumbs up. They're ready for us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your service.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, thanks, Corey.
That's what we do. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Is Sauce like a doorman right now?
Yeah, he's standing by the door. Yeah, and as you can see right above his head, that is just a little taste of what you see here at the Circa Sportsbook is all the games swing by over his head right there. That's just this giant... Wait a minute, Ben, Leber, I bet you've never been here, have you?
Oh, I've been there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I didn't know. Okay, cool. Yeah. It's the greatest sports book in the history of man. The only one better is the one outside where the pool is and all the great butts. It's unbelievable.
Interesting.
I mean, let's just call it what it is. There's nothing but butts out there.
By the way, it's hard to tell if you're watching KFAN.com/watch.
Yeah.
If you've never been inside the Circus Sportsbook, it's the best sportsbook on the strip, and it's not even close. But it is hard to tell because Sauce's head is not necessarily giving the right scale for that giant board. It's so much bigger than it looks.
Yeah, right.
Have they asked him to get out of the way?
Yeah, they have, yeah. That's why we're in this corner over here. This is the only place I can sit so people can see everything.
Down in front.
Yeah, I'm the only one here. It's great, man. This spot wails.
It really is cool.
Have I asked this? What does your shirt mean?
Bettinardi is a putting brand.
It's a putting brand? It's a putter.
Sir. Yeah, the putter. Yeah, it's a putter and clothing brand. Yep.
What a weird combo. A putting and clothing brand.
Well, I mean, they make putters, they make clothing.
Okay.
What are they better at?
Putters. They're elite putters. Bettinardi are elite putters.
Yeah, but for you, how does it work? Does it make you an elite putter?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty good at putting. Yeah. Putting's probably the best part of my game.
Are you better at putting or wearing hooded sweatshirts?
Wearing hooded sweatshirts. No one's as good as you, though.
Thank you. God, I knew I liked you.
You do.
What a nice thing to say.
Thank you.
Nice thing. Should we do Vikings news?
We should,
Daddy.
man.
It's time for Vikings news on the Power Trip, presented by
your truck accessories pro.
So, Ben, it was ProFootballTalk.com a couple days ago that was basically hinting that if Carson Wentz is, quote, number 2, that JJ might be cut in the next handful of days. Just flat out released. Do you believe the JJ McCarthy being released steam at all? Does it make sense to you, and do you believe it?
Flat out released?
Flat out released. Just off the squad.
I would put that at the lowest possible options for what they have going on. Of the 3 options of he stays on the team, he gets traded, or he gets released, I would say getting released would probably be the lowest.
Is staying on the team the most likely?
I would say it's pretty split between being traded and being on the team.
And at this point, then, if you're trading him, are you trading him for essentially anything you can get?
I think so.
That if you can get a 5th or 6th or 7th, you just got to take it and move on?
Yeah, and I think that there's enough people out there that would give up a little something to give him a fresh start, and that's why
Philly.
I don't think Philly's in the mix. They've been rumored as well. Obviously the Harbaugh connection out in L.A. There are some teams that have been rumored out there already in the last couple of weeks that may have interest. So I think if that is an option for the front office, then clearly you make those contacts and those calls and see what they're willing to give up. And if they say it's a 6-rounder, well then maybe that's the best option, the best deal. I just don't see them flat out letting him go with a couple years left on his contract.
Hey Ben,
yeah.
How much is it not off the field, but like the in the classroom teammate angle is him possibly being on the trading block?
Well, I think just the overall team dynamic, I think is a big issue that they have to keep discussing, and I'm sure they've already discussed it. I mean, when those comments were made in OTAs, I think everybody looked at that as like, well, that's a really rational, reasonable situation to be in. I mean, clearly you have J.J. McCarthy, who thought that he was going to take over this franchise, did not play up to his standard last year. The team thought they have to bring in a competitor and a veteran competitor. And certainly he wasn't happy about that. And then Kyler Murray comes in and he's like, wait, I got to like compete for this job. So I think it's very understandable when those comments were made that when they say, hey, he sits on that side of the room and I sit on this side of the room and they don't really talk. And then you go to practice and Hawk, I mean, you and I kind of talked about this when we saw each other at the joint practices, and everybody in the stands could kind of see it. If a good play happens with J.J. McCarthy, there's on the offensive side, 70% of the guys are coming up to dap him up, pat him on the helmet. And who's not coming over to give him a high five or a knucks or just like a good job? Well, Kyler Murray. Yeah. You know, he's over there doing his own thing. And vice versa. I never really saw, if Kyler makes a good play and the team is dapping him up, you don't see JJ running over to dap him up and say, good job. Like, you can tell there is a separation between the two. And that's got to be felt through the organization. So I think if you want to build a healthy championship style locker room, I don't know if that vibe and energy can coexist as you try to build something with Kyler Murray.
Oof. Those are strong statements. We'll find out more. Ben, do we have any kind of significant steam on whether any other quarterback plays outside of our fourth string quarterback this weekend, for tomorrow, Friday?
You know, I don't know. That's a huge question. A lot of people everybody's kind of wondering, how do we handle this? Yeah. From a quarterback spot, JJ was banged up. You know, he's been injured. I mean, even if he was healthy, how much does he play? Does he really need to play? We clearly think that Carson Wentz doesn't need to play. So it seems like a Max Brosmer type of game for 4 quarters. I guess we just have to wait and see. That'll be kind of a fun teaser as we look at tomorrow night's game, is who's going to be out on the field for us leading this offense.
Absolutely. The other thing to look forward to tomorrow night, obviously, is the thing I look forward to every year. And in a lot of ways, the biggest reason to tune in tomorrow night is Coach joins you guys in the third quarter. It's always the most fun.
Super cool.
Do you prepare questions going in, or do you kind of roll with it? Do you have anything in particular you're going to look to ask him?
No, not necessarily. I mean, I don't really have like specific questions right now that I need to ask him.
Right.
I think we all can kind of understand that, well, you got to come up with a question or two as a point of curiosity that he hasn't already been asked. Yeah. You know, he's already been asked all the high level and, you know, some of the detailed questions about the quarterback and stuff like that, and certainly the run game and some of the big storylines. So, I think the really cool part of like how KOC handles this, which is fascinating, how he with the headset on, as everybody can kind of picture that the coaching headsets, there's one earphone and then the other one's open. His open ear is going to have our voices in it, and then he's also going to hear Wes Phillips calling the game in the other earphone. In his other ear. And so he does such an amazing job of hearing both, hearing our question, answering a question, but also getting the play call. And then he can tell us, like, hey, guys, watch out for this on this play, and kind of give us some insight. It's incredible how his brain can multitask in real time like that. So through that process, we naturally just flow into other parts of conversation, things that happen on the field, because he can handle the in-game happenings on the field. So I think it's the fun part about it's very organic. You know, I'll go in tomorrow as I fly there tomorrow morning, and I'll write some thoughts down about what I want to hear. But more often than not, you won't even get to those questions because he's just such a good talker and so much happens actually in the game.
I love it when somebody jumps off sides or something and you can hear the disappointment in his voice.
Yeah.
Or somebody blows a scheme and we wouldn't notice it, but he's watching it happen. That is the kind of stuff I've never heard ever before. It's the coolest ever.
Hey, can I ask you guys a behind-the-scenes question? Like, I know, Chris, you mentioned last week when Jefferson was on, you're always just nervous as a broadcaster, like, is this guy going to drop 5 F-bombs accidentally?
Yeah.
When KOC's multitasking like that, where he's literally listening to Wes Phillips in one ear and you guys in the other, does he have, like, Sam Newton or, like, is somebody around essentially telling other coaches and players, like, hey, coach is technically on there? Like, does he have somebody shielding so they don't get close enough to just yell, like, F yeah, coach? Like you know, is there any kind of shield?
No.
There's no shield.
There's no. From what I've seen, there's no shield. I think guys are aware that JJ was Jets was mic'd up during that portion of the game, but those guys, they roam around free on the sideline. So if you're the other 89 players on the team, you're not aware in that moment that JJ's walking by you and you're having other side conversations or you're yelling something on the field, because Justin's not told to just stay in your corner or like, hey, here's your little part on the sideline. You have to stay here because you're not gonna be free to walk around. You don't know what the audio is gonna pick up. So no, they just walk around. And I think it's probably known that KOC is going to be mic'd up and be on the radio in the third quarter. So I'm sure the coaches are kind of aware, but he just walks up and down the sideline. Yeah. Like he doesn't, you might be trying to avoid him, but he's not necessarily avoiding you.
Yeah, the get back guy is, he doesn't talk to the head coach. He talks to everybody else, but he doesn't talk to coach. So it's
the get back guy is just there to grab him by the belt buckle and just pull him back.
Literally pull him off the field. Yeah, it's the craziest thing. Yeah, that's a good question though, and I always worried. I mean, I'm telling you, there's nothing I can do about it except for tell somebody back at the 10 or whoever's running the game, he's about to cuss. You might want to hit the dump button in case they're not listening. But it's going to happen. Somebody's going to scream the F word right behind. Oh yeah,
can't wait.
How it goes. Before we go to break though, as we're in Vikings news, Ben, everybody out there, today Alec wrote in The Athletic about Jacob Thomas. It's a great article. If you haven't read this, you should. I had no idea a few things. Number one, Ty Felton was a high school teammate, had no clue. Number two, he played for Kurt Signetti at James Madison right before Signetti left to go to Indiana. Didn't go with him because Signetti never gave him a scholarship.
Wow.
So he stayed there at James Madison because he felt kind of disrespected. That's number two. Number three, Ty Felton tore his ACL as a senior, and because of that, the starting receiver was Jacob Thomas, and he caught the game-winning touchdown in the high school championship game, and it was one-handed, and is one of the greatest things. SportsCenter ran it, so I haven't seen it yet, but describing it the way he does in this article, Alec Lewis, I want to read the article. Lastly, Jacob Thomas's dad is a special agent at the Pentagon.
Wow.
What?
Yeah. Exactly. So this kid may be one of the most interesting guys on the team. We're learning that he can play. They think he might have a photographic memory. That's how smart the guy is. I think this is a kid we got to watch. We'll see him play this weekend. Do you have a gut feeling whether he makes this squad or not, Ben?
I mean, I think that he does.
I hope so.
I really think that he does. It has been because Jacoby, our draft pick, because he has been banged up and not playing. I mean, obviously, they always say it opens the door for somebody else. And I think that somebody else could be a guy like Jacob Thomas. I mean, he goes out there and makes plays every time he's on the field. Yeah. And, you can try to discount this and that, but at the end of the day, it's about production. If the guy's trustworthy and he's picking up the defense, and then within the defense, he's making plays, you're like, well, sure, that's the type of guy. And that's the thing I love about, and I'll be curious to go back and read Alec's article as well. Those are all the things that, from an evaluation standpoint, those are all little tiny metrics that you put on a player of like, does he have the grittiness? Like, what's his background? Was he a walk-on? Was he a scholarship guy? What was his adversities in college? Did he have any adversities? How did he handle those things? Like, you want to see like the things that shaped the players into who they are. And those are all factors in finding some guys, whether or not they fit the personality of your team. And he seems like a guy that they located, and it's like he's a grinder. And he's kind of one of those guys that like, hey, we can develop this guy, maybe not a polished product yet, but we like the fact that he's willing to take on any challenge.
And again, we've done that at that position at safety with this squad quite a bit. What's the kid's name? Cam Felton? Was that his name?
Cam Bynum?
Bynum. I'm sorry,
Bynum,
Cam Bynum. Yeah. Somebody who doesn't look like he's going to play safety in the NFL, but he's a smart guy. And you got to be smart to play safety on this team. And we aren't really deep at safety right now. I bet he makes the squad. He might be one of those kids that come out of nowhere and we're like, my God, this is a diamond in the rough. How cool would that be?
Yes, same. And I have the same feeling about Jacob Roberts, the linebacker.
Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake.
So Jake the Snake is another guy that it's kind of a heavy competition with the inside linebacker spot because Jake the Snake is not an outside rusher. So, there's only 2 spots on that inside linebacker core, and it's going to be a really, really tight race to the final 53. But that's another guy that's got a great story. He's kind of grinded his way through the Canadian Football League, and you heard Nolan last week sort of talk about like we've identified this guy, like our staff has identified this guy.
That's who I was talking about. Okay, got it. Right.
And then you watch him play, and he's making plays as well. And he plays with some sort of, some instinct and some explosiveness. He's got some twitch to him as well, and he's going out there to make plays. So, there are some fun position battles to watch for tomorrow's game.
All right, we'll come back. We'll do Fan 5. We'll do headlines later. Again, those guys are live at Circa in Las Vegas, Nevada. More of the Power Trip Morning Show after this on The Fan.
The Fan.
From the 1-800 Ask Gary Traffic Center.